Chapter 2. The First of the Three Spirits. When Scrooge awoke, it was so dark that looking out of bed he could scarcely distinguish the transparent window from the opaque walls of his chamber, until suddenly the church clock tolled a deep, dull, hollow, melancholy 1. Light flashed up in the room upon the instant, and the curtains of his bed were drawn aside by a strange figure, like a child, yet not so like a child as like an old man, viewed through some supernatural medium, which gave him the appearance of having receded from view, and being diminished to a child's proportions. Its hair, which hung about its neck and down its back, was white as if with age, and yet the face had not a wrinkle in it, and the tenderest bloom was on the skin. It held a branch of fresh green holly in its hand, and, in singular contradiction of that wintry emblem, had its dress trimmed with summer flowers. But the strangest thing about it was, and from the crown of its head there sprung a bright, clear jet of light, by which all this was visible, and which was doubtless the occasion of its using, in its duller moments, a great extinguisher for a cap, which it now held under its arm. Just then a bright white light filled his room. The curtains on his bed opened to reveal... "Are you the spirit whose coming was foretold to me?"
I am.
"Who and what are you?"
I'm the ghost of Christmas past. Your past, to be specific.
Long past?
No, your past. The things that you will see with me are shadows of the things that have been. They will have no consciousness of us.
Scrooge then made bold to inquire what business brought him there.
Your welfare. Rise and walk with me.
Are you the spirit whose arrival I was expecting?
I am. I am the ghost of Christmas past. Your past, to be specific.
Might you put on your cap to cover the blinding light?
You want me to cover my light so soon? You are among those who created the cap that covers my light, and who forced me to wear it.
I meant no offense. May I ask then, why are you here?
Your salvation, Ebenezer Scrooge. Rise and walk with me.
I am mortal, and I will fall.
Take my hand, and you will be fine.
As they flew out the window, the dark night of the city vanished. It was replaced by open country covered in fresh snow. This is where I grew up.
Do you know the way?
I could find it blindfolded. As they walked along the road, Scrooge recognized every gate, post, and tree. Finally, in the distance, they saw a small town. Ponies and carriages approached, filled with happy children playing. Scrooge could name every one of them.
These are the shadows of things that have been. They do not see us.
Merry Christmas! But what Merry Christmas had Scrooge ever had?
The school is not quite empty. A single child, neglected by his friends, remains.
The spirit touched Scrooge's arm and pointed to his young self.
The school is not quite deserted, said the ghost.
They entered a bare room, made barer still by the lines of desks. At one of these, a lonely boy sat reading. Scrooge crept closer, and a weight fell upon his heart. Could it be? He whispered.
Yes, said the spirit.
The boy was Scrooge himself so many years before. He has no place to go on Christmas, remembered Scrooge as a tear came to his eye. Poor boy, having to turn to books for company. I wish... No, it's too late now.
You wish what?
There was a boy singing a Christmas carol at my door last night. I wish I had not scared him away.
Come, let us see another Christmas of yours.
It was the same classroom, but older and dirtier. Scrooge was older too, and no longer reading. Instead, he paced the room in despair. Suddenly, the door opened, and in ran Scrooge's young sister. "I have come to bring you home, dear brother." "Home, little Fan?" "Yes, home! Father's changed. He is so much nicer than he was before. He sent me to take you away from this place forever." Scrooge and his sister departed the lonely school.
She was small but had a large heart. She died as a woman and had children.
One child.
Your nephew.
Yes. And then, just like that, they were standing in a busy city street. It was yet another Christmas from Ebenezer's past. "I know this place. I was an apprentice here." "Why, it's old Fezziwig!" "No more work this evening, boys! Clear everything away for the party!" A huge party took place with food, music, singing, and dancing. For a moment, Scrooge felt as if he had never left Fezziwig's warehouse. At 11 o'clock, the party ended. The grateful guests lined up to thank Mr. Fezziwig for a grand time.
Why should they be so thankful? He just spent a few pounds. Is that so deserving of praise?
It isn't the money, Spirit. Look how happy he made everyone. The happiness he gave us was worth a fortune.
What's the matter?
It's just... I'd like to be able to say something to my clerk right about now.
Come, my time grows short. To another Christmas of your past.
Scrooge saw himself again. This time he was older. Beside him sat a lovely young woman. "You have replaced your love for me with love for money. There is nothing worse than poverty, and nothing better than the pursuit of wealth. You fear the world too much. All of your hopes and dreams have been replaced by just one: money. My feelings for you have not changed. We fell in love when we were both happy and poor. You have changed, while I have not. I must release you." Have I ever sought release? Not in words, but in a changed nature. You will forget me once you go back to your money counting. Farewell, Ebenezer. May you be happy in the life that you have chosen. Spirit, show me no more!
But one more Christmas remains.
And one Christmas more the Spirit did show him. The woman meant to marry Scrooge had married someone else. And she was very happy. "I saw an old friend of yours this afternoon, Ebenezer Scrooge. He sat in his office working by candlelight. He looked very lonely." "Spirit, take me away from here!"
These are shadows of things that have been. Don't blame me.
"Take me back! Haunt me no longer!" Scrooge pressed the spirit's cap, extinguishing its light. Scrooge found himself back in his own home. Exhausted, he fell into a deep sleep.